All right, guys, so here's the new MacBook Pro. Now, again, I currently have the 2017 MacBook Pro, and it's good. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't have any issues with it, but Apple is releasing newer models of the MacBook Pro, and is it worth the upgrade? Well, the current MacBook Pro was pretty. It was pretty decent at the price. They pretty much kept the same pricing, but let's go into the MacBook Pro and let's look at what Apple is offering now. The pricing is pretty much the same, but now they've got it to where the top of the line MacBook Pro is about $7,000, and that's pretty expensive. And that's if you fully deck it out here. So the 8th generation Intel 6-core quad-core processor. This is what they're offering now, up to 32 gigs of memory. You've got the touch bar, which I've never really enjoyed. I don't mind doesn't have a touch bar because I know people who have the touch bar and they just dislike it. That touch bar goes bad and everything else in the computer goes bad from what I've noticed from people who have the touch bar, or they say they just don't use it. And so I don't need the touch bar. So you up to 4.8 gigahertz in turbo boost. The SSD speeds are up to 3.2 gigahertz or gigabits, and up to 10 hours of battery life. Now, that's one thing I will say. The battery life on my MacBook Pro is absolutely awesome. It's really good. So video editing, you can now, it's saying that you'll get better performance when doing heavy video editing. I don't know how true that is. I don't do heavy video editing at all, but full resolution 4K videos on the 15-inch MacBook Pro is saying that with Final Cut. So just remember this, they're talking about the 15-inch in this right here. This is an example of the 15-inch. So, but that doesn't mean the 13-inch will not be able to perform good as well, because you see here the turbo boost is up to 4.5. So they're saying 70% faster than the previous generation. All those things like that. I don't know if I believe all that, but all I can say is that my current MacBook works. There's a guy I was talking to at Best Buy, and because I was considering buying my MacBook Pro from there one time, and he said, "Man, I still have like a 2008 or 9 MacBook Pro or something." He had the big, thick white one. He's like, "It still works." I was like, "Wow." So he was like, "I'm not upgrading as long as it works." So here is the pricing for it. So let's just say you wanted to get a 15-inch, because what Apple's advertising, they're advertising the highest spec when they're talking about all these performances in most cases. So let's just go over here and let's go shopping. And we're going to put the 15 in. Even though I wouldn't buy a 15-inch, I would buy a 13-inch if I were going to do this. Let's put it all the way up. $300. See that 4.8 turbo boost? That's an additional $300 that Apple's advertising that they're not telling you about up front. $400 for the memory upgrade, which is just highway robbery. And then the real pricing comes in here where they want you to pay $3,200 for a 4 terabyte drive. So yeah, then you add in Final Cut Pro, and then you add in the Logic Pro X, which a lot of people currently have. You add this to your bag. Look at the price of this MacBook. You got to get Apple Care, so that's another $400. Look at the price. So you're at over $8,000 for me if I decide to purchase this. That's what it is. But in real world, I wouldn't buy all that, man. I would just go ahead and get, if I were going to do this, I would pretty much do the same iteration I have now, which is just this baseline model, which is more than enough for what I do. I would get this one right here, or possibly this one, and that would do it for me. I wouldn't upgrade to $300. I wouldn't do this $200. I definitely wouldn't add the 1 terabyte for $800. That's just what it is, and that would be my price. I would just buy it just like this. But seeing as though I currently have this model here, I don't see the need for me to upgrade in this. I don't think it's necessary. So this will probably be the first year where I don't jump out and buy the other one, unless I sell my current MacBook, because I always get Apple Care. I could sell my current MacBook for about $1,500 or $1,400 possibly, maybe even about $1,300 on the low end, because I have Apple Care. It's still brand new pretty much, and that's just what it is. So I could take that money and just go get another one. But the real question is it worth the time? In most cases, it's not. Just to buy the next generation of processors and check it out. I've done that before. It's getting a little old now, so I'm just sitting on it. I have no intentions on posting my MacBook for sale like I did all the other ones. But here's a look at the new MacBook Pro. What do you guys think? The pricing is pretty much the same. It's just that when you get into those high-end versions of it with all spec'd out, you're looking at over $8 grand. That's just crazy to me. Anyway, that's more than the baseline iMac. I would go for that instead. I would go for the iMac Pro. At $5 grand, if anything. If I were going to do that, I would just go straight to this. But unless you need to be portable, then that will change things for you. So, anyway, I'm out of here. It's your man Jay Will. What do you think about the new MacBook Pros? Are you going to get one? Are you going to sell your current MacBook? What are your thoughts on it? You guys know I love the Apple computer, so I really like my current MacBook and 5K iMac. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.